Here is a quick review on Pythagorean Theorem Inequalities, or how can you tell if triangles are right, acute, or obtuse. Hopefully we know what the Pythagorean theorem is. A squared plus b squared is c squared, with c being the hypotenuse. If you don't know what that is, you can review my video on the Pythagorean theorem. But in this video, we want to explore what happens if a squared plus b squared is smaller than c squared, or what if it's bigger than c squared. Let's start first by looking at this right triangle, and I'm holding A and B's length the same, but I'm going to take C, that hypotenuse, the longest side, I'm going to make it a little bit smaller and then form the triangle by kind of pushing together sides A and B. That nice right angle is going to become an acute angle. So now I have an acute triangle if A squared plus B squared is bigger than C squared. But what happens if I take my right triangle and instead of making C smaller, I make it bigger? Now A and B are the same lengths, so when I form my new triangle, I kind of have to pull them apart a little bit to meet up with the new endpoints of C. So my nice right angle is now an obtuse angle. So when A squared plus B squared is less than C squared, you're going to get an obtuse triangle. Now all this can be a little hard to remember. Hopefully you can remember those pictures, but if you can't, well, I do have a quick and dirty way to remember. Now don't judge, kind of hate myself for it, but this should help you remember. Let's look at A squared plus B squared bigger than C squared first. If you look at that symbol, the greater than symbol, kind of looks like a little arrow pointing to a C. And guess what? There's a C in the word acute. So if the symbol's pointing to the C, it means you've got an acute triangle. Well, what about the other case, where A squared plus B squared is less than C squared? Well, that symbol, the less than symbol, kind of looks like it's pointing to a B. And yep, there's a B in the word obtuse. So pointing to the B means obtuse. I know, but this will save you someday when you're trying to remember this. So let's look at some examples. The examples basically are asking what kind of triangle do we have given three side lengths. So first I have 10, 24, and 26. So first you have to decide, do I even have a triangle? So you have to remember that triangles, any two sides, if you add them up, they have to be bigger than the third side. 10 plus 24 is 34, which is bigger than 26, and it'll work for the other sides as well, so it is valid. I make two columns, A squared plus B squared, and then C squared. C is always the longest side, so there's my A squared plus B squared, and the 26 squared will be the C squared. Do the computation, and you get 676 both sides, so it's equal. We have A squared plus B squared equals C squared, as we know. That's a right triangle. Let's look at another example. 3, 4, 6. Is it a triangle? 3 plus 4 is 7, which is bigger than 6. You can do that with the remaining sides as well. Yes, we have a valid triangle. Let's make our two columns A squared plus B squared and C squared. 6 will be C, so 3 squared plus 4 squared compared to 6 squared, or 25 compared to 36. 25 is smaller than 36, so A squared plus B squared is less than C squared. I'm pointing to the B, so it's obtuse. Next example, 7, 8, and 9. 7 plus 8, 15, bigger than 9. It works for the other sides as well. Yes, we have a valid triangle. Let's look at our two columns, A squared plus B squared and C squared, remembering C is our biggest side, so that's where the 9 goes. Do the computations, we get 113 compared to 81. So A squared plus B squared in this case is bigger than C squared. So we're pointing to the C. That's right, it's acute. And our final example, I've got 32, 64, and 100. Now 32 plus 64 is 96, which is smaller than 100. This thing isn't even a triangle. So it's not right, it's not obtuse, it's not acute, it's invalid. So nothing to do here, no triangle. I hope this helped. You do need to remember these little formulas, and I guess you can use my little trick. Be sure to make sure you have a triangle at all first, and then remember pointing to the C is acute, pointing to the B is obtuse. Thank you for watching, and I hope this helps.